Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is January 25th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery here. You can see the big ridge of high pressure off the coast of North America here. Kind of a dirty ridge configuration here for the Pacific Northwest, meaning clouds and some light precipitation moving over the top of that ridge, keeping things dreary here across Pacific Northwest. Main storm track pointed up towards Alaska, but this ridge here is going to retrograde a bit here and allow for some cold air to move down across Pacific Northwest. I've been watching a system the last couple of days here. I think it's time to introduce it to everybody here on the channel. We'll take a look at what it may bring for places west of the Cascades, including the Puget Sound and the Willamette Valley. Chances are better here when you go mountain ranges east as far as Arctic air and snow is concerned. We'll take a look at those details here in a moment. Now taking a look now, pretty quiet right now, but Montana has issued some winter storm watches here coming up Thursday night through Saturday. There's some dense fog advisories for the Willamette Valley, but pretty quiet elsewhere otherwise. And this is going to change here as we go through the weekend. There's going to be winter weather advisories all over the place here as we go on in through the weekend, including Cascades East. Maybe even if we're really lucky, if you're a snow lover anyway, you might get some across some of the Puget Sound, Willamette Valley. We'll see how that trends here in the next couple of days. We have a couple of days to look at this system in detail as we go. This is for Missoula, Montana out there Friday night through Saturday. Reduced visibility, flash freeze, blowing, drifting snow, big winds, big snows for the higher terrain. Nice shot of Arctic air coming down there. The further east, the more susceptible you are going to be to that. Watch out for the dangerous cold coming on in through western Montana shown there. This is eastern Washington. You can see some of these temperatures coming up as we go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Teens for high temperatures here and overnight lows into the single digits, even down towards 0 Fahrenheit there. So pretty chilly there across much of eastern Washington as we go through later this week and early next week. Now this is taking a look at the same graphic here, but for eastern Oregon here, you can see by Monday morning, single digits coming up here. Some of these high temperatures only into the 20s, even teens for some areas there. So heads up, folks, especially east of the Cascades, the cold weather, it's on its way. Now taking a look here at the Canadian, this is hot off the press 12Z model run here. We're looking at two main systems here. The first one Friday, moving through the area, Cascades East. Rocky Mountains, Northeast Oregon, nice shot of snowfall coming as you go on in through Friday afternoon. Then the Arctic air starts sagging south across Alberta, British Columbia here. Look at all these isobars tightly packed here. And we're going to bring a system, some troughing off of the west coast here of the Pacific Northwest and try to bring some precip in the form of snow down towards the surface here. And you can see the Canadian has a shot of light, moderate snow for the Portland Metro here as we go through Saturday night. So that's the system we're watching here that I've been watching for a couple of days now that we're just now starting to look at the details on this system. But you can see a nice shot of snowfall here for portions of eastern Washington, Oregon as well as you go through the day Saturday. Then finally, this Arctic air sags south over the Pacific Northwest. Low pressure system pivots down across California. Some additional snowfall for Northern California, higher terrain, and the Sierra Nevada shown there on in through Nevada and Utah. Now taking a look at the GFS, let's see if it shows similar. Friday system there, very similar. Cascades East, nice snow shot there on Friday. And then the Arctic air, good model agreement with the Canadian shown here, even clipping Seattle here by Saturday afternoon. I-5 corridor down towards Portland Metro, even Willamette Valley, showing some snowfall potential here with this low pressure system off the coast of Oregon here by Saturday night, early Sunday morning, as this high pressure really starts to sag south over BC and Montana shown there. And similar thing here as that low pressure pivots down across California, Nevada, Utah, bringing some good snows to the Sierra Nevada as we go on into early next week. Here's looking at the NAM 12KM. Let's see what kind of model agreement we have with this. Nice shot of snow on Friday. Arctic air sags south, troughing over at Washington, Oregon here, trying to bring a little bit of lowland snowfall to western Washington, Oregon, shown here by Saturday afternoon. That's as far as the NAM 12KM goes. This is hot off the presses, European 4 a.m. I waited to make this video so I could show you guys this data here coming up. So we're going to take a look at Friday's system there. Good model agreement there with the Canadian and the GFS, sorry. Now, as we go on into Saturday, you'll notice that Arctic air start to sag south here. Raining probably on the Puget Sound here as we go on in through Saturday afternoon. But you'll notice that snow will start to creep down towards the I-5 corridor and even towards Seattle a bit here as these northerly outflow winds are starting to move across the region here. You can see that low pressure system right off the coast of Oregon there. There could be a deformation band somewhere on the north side of that. There can also be residual convergence zone activity across the Puget Sound as this cold air is filtering in as well. But the Portland Metro and some of the North Willamette Valley might actually be favored versus Seattle and the North Puget Sound here as we go on in through Saturday night into Sunday morning here as that system moves south and out of the area. Now, this is looking at 850 millibar temperatures. You need these temperatures generally to be about -6 Celsius west of the Cascades to bring snowfall down to the surface. So you can see the ridging, then the very cold air starts to move north. You can clearly see that line as we go through Saturday morning. We're now in Saturday afternoon. And you can see those temperatures cooling down, -5 over Seattle, -7. By the time you get towards Saturday evening, if there's residual convergence zone activity or precipitation still around, it could fall in the form of snow across some of the Seattle metro, including a lot of the Puget Sound. And you'll notice that Portland drops below that -6 threshold to about -7 here through Saturday night. So there is a snowfall potential here west of the Cascades. It would be marginal. It's probably going to be kind of wet, kind of slushy. And again, east of the Cascades, east of the mountain ranges here, it's going to get quite cold. As you can see, that very cold air aloft targeting places east of the mountains shown there. And by the time we go into early next week, it's going to be pretty chilly all the way out west of the Cascades even on Monday morning. And this is looking at 2-meter temperature. I'm using Celsius because the white here means that you are below freezing. So we're going to speed ahead here, and we're going to go on into Saturday. You'll see that cold air start to arrive here across British Columbia as we go through the day Saturday. And you notice these temperatures start to plummet as we go through Saturday evening and Saturday night, and they start to try to drop below freezing here across much of western Washington, even into the Willamette Valley by Sunday morning. So any residual precipitation occurring would likely be in the form of snow and potentially accumulate a little bit down here into western Washington, Oregon. And again, we have 2 days to look at this system here coming up, so we're not going to get too caught up in details just yet. Small changes in the trajectory or weather models, what they show here is going to make a big difference in the forecast amounts of snowfall across places west of the Cascades. This is for Portland. You can see there are a few ensemble members with 2+ inches in here, a little bit of an uptick from the last run there, but the mean is just generally just below an inch here coming up. But it doesn't take much to make things slick out there. This is Seattle-Tacoma, last night's European run as well. Not much in the way of accumulating snowfall shown there, but again, the track of this is going to mean everything. Now taking a look at Snohomish County, Payne Field up there in Everett here. There is a chance, but mainly light amounts showing up right now. Cascade Locks, check this out as you get east of the Cascades a bit. Look at some of these snowfall amounts there. This is down towards the Washington-Oregon border out there. The control up towards 7 inches there, the mean around 5. So there's going to be some nice snowfall potential there for eastern Washington. You can see Yakima. This would be quite dry snow as well. So 2 inches of dry blowing snow out there, you can cover the roadway pretty quickly and cause some blowing snow, reduced visibility out there. This is Spokane, another nice round of snowfall likely coming up here out there through Spokane, Inland Empire out there, and especially as you go across the higher terrain. Great Falls, Montana, nice signal here coming up as you go through Friday night into Saturday morning here for snowfall coming up. So be prepared out there. Boise as well, light dry snowfall out there, probably between 1 to 2 inches for you guys. Now taking a look here, the European versus itself. This is hot off the presses on the left, the 4 a.m. run versus yesterday's 4 p.m. run. Put this into motion. You see that ridge retrograde here. We start to get these lows moving down across the region. There goes Friday's system there. Again, Cascades east for the snowfall on Friday. Then the slope reaches out and tries to include places west of the Cascades a little bit, as we've been talking about there. So that's the system we're watching here. And you can kind of see this ridge setting up and continuing to be there, not allowing any other polar lobes to move into the region as of right now. So we'll continue to watch that. And you can see discrepancies in between the European here as you go on in through the hour 2:16 to 2:28. This will be more of a onshore flow, southwest flow across the region, more precipitation moving into the area here as we get through the extended. So we'll watch that as we go. Right now, we're mainly concerned with what's coming up here this weekend as far as that cold air arriving across the Pacific Northwest here. Now taking a look here, this is 850 millibars, 5,000 feet, a wider view of things here, the north flow. This is hot off the presses again, the 4 a.m. run. You can see that cold air punching out even across the west coast here, but not a great trajectory to get snowfall into southwest BC and Seattle, at least not right now. It's not looking like it too much, but it is pretty chilly air out there. But areas east of the Rockies are really going to feel the brunt of this, and even some portions of the Idaho Panhandle and western Montana as well. This is 2-meter temperature anomaly. We'll let this play through, and you can kind of see by Monday morning shown there the kind of a little bit of an ice box here going on across Pacific Northwest there, even west of the Cascades. It's going to be pretty chilly Monday morning. So you're going to feel it whether we get snow or not west of the Cascades. You're going to feel it across the metro areas by Monday morning. Pretty chilly. This is 24-hour running snow total here. This is the Friday system going through. Look at these nice amounts here across some of the Rockies of BC. Idaho Panhandle there, Montana, Northeast Oregon. Then as we go on in through the next system there, look at this bullseye here for some of the Oregon Cascades as well. Northeast Oregon, another round of snowfall for Idaho, Montana as well. And you see it doesn't show that much for the lowlands here, but it does bring you a little bit out across the I-5 corridor down towards Portland Metro here, but not big amounts as of yet. But we'll continue to watch that. Small changes in the forecast can make big differences in what kind of snow we're going to see. This is the Canadian here really quick as well. Actually, let's update that. For some reason, it is not updated here. Put this into motion there. You can see Friday's system there, Cascades on east again. Then the next system, you're kind of showing that little bit of favor there, maybe an inch or so for Portland here across the I-5 corridor down towards Chehalis as well. We'll continue to watch that, excuse me, as we go on in through the next couple of days. We do have 2 days to work that out, so thankful for that. This is 10-day temperature precipitation anomaly across the west coast. Of course, with this north and northeast flow across the region, we're going to be at a deficit for this time of year. We're usually pretty rainy for this time of year, so you can kind of see that deficit all the way down through California as we go in the next 10 days. 6 to 10-day temperature outlook. You can clearly see that signal here across Pacific Northwest down through California there. 8 to 14, similar thing here, but you can see a lot of that cold air starting to push off towards the plains by this time here. So plenty of time to work out these details shown there. This is for early February here. Experimental product here for some slight into moderate chance for some below average or risk of hazardous temperatures, I should say. And you can see the high risk there across some of the eastern Montana there down through Kansas here, as that really cold air is going to stay out over east of the Rockies coming up. And a risk of heavy snow, you can see slight all the way down the Sierra Nevada, all the way up the Cascades, including some of the Siskiyous there in the Intermountain West there as well. And, this is kind of interesting here because they're doing the radar upgrade here January 27th through February 3rd. So this is not good timing. I don't know. Hopefully there's a reason that they have to do it during the winter, because otherwise I don't know why they would not plan these outages for the summertime, because this is not a good time of the year to be without your Doppler radars across the region here. So hopefully there is a reason that they could not avoid for doing the upgrades this time of year. But anyway, yeah, so we do have that chance. West of Cascades, still a little bit of snowfall is possible. But again, Cascades and the mountain ranges on east, biggest chances coming up here. So we will look at this in detail again tomorrow, and we'll compare these model runs and see what kind of new data comes in here as we go through tomorrow. Channel's doing great. We're getting up towards 31,000 subscribers. Click subscribe if you haven't already. Turn your notifications on. Tell your friends. Let's get out the word to everybody here across Pacific Northwest and continue this great community that we have here weather-wise across the region. And yeah, so we'll do this again tomorrow. We'll check out the details, and I'll talk to you guys then.